Good morning, it's Brent Adams here on Tuesday, August 29th, this 241st day of 2023. We've made our way to Decatur, Illinois for Farm Progress Show 2023. As you can see, combines are out in the field, they're doing ride and drives, and they're also showing off the latest in technology. All the major equipment manufacturers are here, and you can be here too. Today is the first day of the show. It goes on from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Central Time today and tomorrow, and then 8 to 4 on Thursday. More than 600 exhibitors are going to be here showing off the latest in technology, new hardware, new software, new innovation, the latest in animal health and nutrition. We've got a lot of chemical seed companies, and it just really runs the gamut. You're not going to want to miss it. People are coming from all over the world for this show. You can be here too. You can find tickets online, farmprogressshow.com, or you can get them at the door. $20 at the door for adults, some varied prices for other groups, but you're going to want to check that out online. Leave yourself plenty of time. There's so much to see and do here in Decatur, Illinois, and we're going to cover it all the next 3 days here on your Morning Ag Update. And now we get to the news.
Well, U.S. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack will attend the 2023 Farm Progress Show on Wednesday to announce a major investment in clean energy for rural Americans. Wednesday morning, Vilsack will join Representative Nikki Budzinski, an Illinois Democrat, at a meeting of her Agriculture Advisory Council. There, Vilsack will hear firsthand from producers and officials about the state of agriculture in Illinois. Later, Secretary Vilsack will deliver remarks at the main Farm Progress stage. USDA says Vilsack will announce a significant investment to help producers and small businesses in rural communities invest in clean energy systems, improve energy efficiency, lower energy costs, and generate income. Vilsack is scheduled to make the announcement at noon Central Time, which will be live streamed at farmprogress.com. Meanwhile, on Monday, Vilsack announced $808 million to help rural cooperatives and utilities build and improve electric infrastructure. The funding will also help provide clean drinking water and sanitary wastewater systems in rural areas. The announcement will benefit nearly 480,000 people in 36 states and 2 U.S. territories. Well, the results of a Checkoff-initiated smoothie pilot program showed increased milk and yogurt consumption and will be offered to more schools this fall. Research shows fruit smoothies are more popular than energy drinks, flavored water, juices, and soft drinks with Gen Z consumers. Dairy Management, Inc. partnered with Chartwell's K-12, a food management company that serves more than 2 million meals in 4,500 schools daily, for the pilot last year. The results were encouraging enough for the company to make the smoothie program available to its entire suite of schools this year. General Mills joined the effort by providing culinary support and training, and Hubert, a food service equipment manufacturer, offered blenders and other materials at a discounted rate. Chefs from Chartwell's and General Mills collaborated to produce 30 recipes that contain at least one of the daily recommended servings of dairy and fruit. A survey conducted after the pilot showed a very positive response from students, school food service staff, and administrators. Well, for the first time in more than a month, the nation's average price of gasoline declined, falling 4 cents from a week ago to $3.78 per gallon. The national average is up 5.8 cents from a month ago, but 3.5 cents per gallon lower than a year ago. The national average diesel price rose 3.3 cents in the last week to $4.33 per gallon, 70.7 cents lower than 1 year ago. However, Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan says the drop may be short-lived, as one of the nation's largest refineries partially shut down last week after a fire at a storage tank, and as we see more tropical activity that could lead to further disruption. After rallying for 7 straight weeks, oil prices have lost some of their luster, much of which can be blamed on continued weakness in China's economy and refinery issues in the U.S., limiting how much crude oil refineries will be able to process. And also happening this week, the extreme heat is taking its toll not just on crops, but Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack says cattle also, as USDA is updating its payment rates for cattle losses.
These heat domes have plagued the United States, and they prove to be unsurvivable for animals. And temperatures, unfortunately, in the near term aren't necessarily expected to let up.
So Vilsack says the department will update livestock indemnity program payments to account for the recent jump in cattle prices.
Updating it from $1,244 per head to $1,618 per head, which we think is more reflective of the situation.
especially after talking with stakeholders.
Stakeholders have expressed to us that the current livestock indemnity program payment rates for cattle at finish or near finish rates simply isn't and are not reflective of the losses that are being suffered.
The program pays 75% of fair market value, and the update will help all producers, even those who've already received payments under the old rate.
If folks have already applied for and received payments for losses they suffered in 2023, they can and will receive an additional payment to get it up to the $1,618 per head rate.
Still to come, a final tally of corn and bean losses from the extreme heat. Well, drought continues to make headlines across rural America. Ryan Martin, an agricultural meteorologist, says recent August rains have taken the edge off the drought in some areas.
There's some dryness out there, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's all roses everywhere, but at the same time, you look at the normal areas that we're oftentimes talking about dryness, especially this time of year, and we don't have as many problems as we've had in the past. So pockets of dryness are a key issue. We're still seeing some areas, particularly parts of Iowa, a few areas in Illinois, and even some areas down in Texas and Oklahoma. Oddly enough, after having rain that wouldn't stop over the past few months, now transitioned into a slightly drier pattern. So yeah, there's pockets of dryness, but I don't think that all-out drought is the story this year that it has been in years past, and definitely not the story that it was about 2 months ago.
The people fortunate enough to get rain in August generally saw some decent amounts.
When folks got it, they got it good. August rainfall for the first half of the month over a large part of key growing areas was above normal. We actually saw in parts of the central and eastern Corn Belt rainfall totals in the first half of August exceeding what would normally be the entire month. We've turned off and gone drier here recently. The rains have not been materializing as much as of late. So that means we're going to finish the month of August in a lot of areas probably at normal or maybe slightly above, slightly below, but it all came in one segment of the month rather than all throughout.
Looking ahead to harvest, he's expecting drier than normal conditions over key growing areas through September.
Slightly below normal on precipitation, warmer than normal on temperatures. October looks to be a wild card. The reason why it's a wild card is I'm expecting the tropics to get a little bit more active. And we've even seen that here over the last week or two in August. Tropical systems working through the Gulf, one working into Texas, and I think we're going to see a couple more try and ramp up into early September. So the tropics should be relatively active in October. Those southern events that try and come into the Gulf and work their way north or northeast, those will have an impact on harvest. But right now, I'm seeing nothing that says October is a problem in terms of getting harvest done timely. Nothing right now is saying that this is going to be a 2021 type of year where harvest was delayed for a long period of time.
Again, that's ag meteorologist Ryan Martin. And finally this morning, the USDA's Computer Use of Farms report recently received a name change to reflect expanding technology use on farms. More from USDA Radio's Rod Bain.
A new name for an every other year released USDA report.
The Technology Use Survey was previously called the Farm Computer Use and Ownership Survey.
Tony Dorn of the National Agricultural Statistics Service explains the reason behind the name change for the report.
Since the technology has evolved, right now we're collecting much more data rather than just computer usage on the farm and ownership. We're collecting all sorts of data about precision ag, about how farmers connect to the internet, and about how farmers use the internet for conducting business with USDA and outside of USDA.
The recently released 2023 edition of the Technology Use on Farms report builds upon data first obtained in 1997. And according to the survey,
85% of farms reported having access to the internet. And that compares with 82% in 2021.
With the New England region leading the nation with 98% of farms connected to the internet. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Well, again, the 2023 Farm Progress Show is here in Decatur, Illinois. You can catch us at the AGCO lot, lot 333. We will be here throughout the show. We'll have a mobile studio set up. Come by and say hi. We'd love to meet you. We're going to be interviewing a lot of people, and we're going to be talking about the latest innovations from Fendt, Massey Ferguson, Heston, and also Gleaner, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary. We're going to talk all about it, and if you miss it there, you can catch it all on Tractors and Troubadours, which is our weekly podcast. It drops every Friday at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, we want you to join us on Rural Strong Radio, our 24/7 streaming radio station found at ruralstrongmedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app for your mobile device. We play ag programming, as well as traditional country music and western swing, a little bit of bluegrass, a little bit of southern rock, a little bit of inspirational. We're going 24/7. We'd love for you to join us. Again, Rural Strong Radio at ruralstrongmedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app. We're a hotbed of activity here in Decatur, Illinois. And again, come join us at the AGCO Lot 333 at Farm Progress Show 2023. For now, it's Brent Adams. Thank you for joining us for the Rural Strong Morning Ag Update here on Steve Shetler Media.